Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. The inevitable death trap tight end stardom sitem week 7 is here. Sleazeball, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you guys are new, make sure you scroll down below, smash that like, smash that subscribe. Helps me out a ton. Trying to bring you the best fantasy football content to help you win your leagues. Let's dive into it here. Let me break down if you guys are new, let me break down the layout here. So the top black box is the away team. The bottom team will be the home team. I'll give you a green bar, a yellow bar, and a red bar. Green bar, obviously, all systems go. Yellow bar, we'll talk about if maybe, if not. I'll break down some stats on why I think if it is and why I think if it's not. Red bar, obviously, a sitem. I take a crazy top 10 overall wide or tight end sitem every video to do something crazy. So I'll throw that in as well. Also, 6 teams on a bye this week. So Carolina, Hayden Hurst out. Houston, Dalton Schultz out. Dallas, Jake Ferguson out. Tennessee, Chigakonkwo out. New York Jets, Tyler Conklin is out. And the Bengals, Irv Smith. I don't even know if that really matters, but Irv Smith is as well out. So, heading into the first matchup here, to kick it off with Monday Night Football. The 49ers versus the Vikings. This is all green all the way for both. George Kittle. I did say bench. He was my bold sitem last week. Top 10 tight end sitem. I said he's going to be chip blocking versus the Browns defensive line. It's going to be a tough go for the Niners offensive line. That's exactly what happened. He had 0.6 points. Everyone gave me a bunch of trash on Twitter while I do that coming up with a big game. I know my Niners, man. So, George Kittle this week will be a start and play. The Vikings secondary and their D-line is not good enough to get after him. He won't be chip blocking. He'll be out there running routes this week. Heading to the Vikings side, TJ Hawkinson. I have Jordan Addison on the sitem. I feel like TJ Hawkinson will be the focal point in this game. He's pretty much all they have. Jordan Addison, KJ Osborne, and him. So Hawkinson should have a big enough game to beat this rejection, and especially if you at tight end, if you have TJ Hawkinson, you're playing him either way. Heading down to the shootout game of the week, my highest scoring game that I think is going to happen is going to be the Chiefs versus the Chargers. Travis Kelce back to being Travis Kelce, back to the number 1 tight end, averaging 14.1 per game. And he does it on limited snaps too, which is kind of crazy. He's only 20th in the NFL in snap share at tight end at 66%. And here's the interesting part. He's run 140 routes, which is 15th, but he gets targeted 33% when he runs them. Just number 1 by a long shot. Number 2 is 28% at Sam Laporta. That will drop as Lions receiving core is healthy now. It'll change. But Travis Kelce always green every time. Gerald Everett coming off a touchdown last week. I had Gerald Everett on stardom last week as well. That was a hit. I like Gerald Everett here again. This is going to be a high scoring game. I want most of the pieces of it, or all pieces of it. I've done so many videos, my voice is going out. Gerald Everett and Parham do split, snap shares though. I don't like that. They do run some double tight end sets every now and then. It's about 60-40 or 55-45 right now. I still think Gerald Everett has a chance to find the end zone this week at a tough position that we all struggle at tight end. Browntown Colts Browns. Njoku has not showed up yet. I feel like if he's ever going to show up, this is going to be his time to show up is right now. Sorry, my phone's going off. I mean, I hope that Deshaun Watson is back from the shoulder injury. It looks like he's not going to be back, but he's still out there. I mean, so David Njoku is still the 11th most used tight end in the NFL, 77%. He's not highly as targeted as the other receivers. He's still route running at, number 17. Nothing great yet. He has this, dude, last year he was number 2 in red zone targets for the position. I don't know why he's not being used the same way. I know that Deshaun Watson is out last week and they played the Niners. This is a smash matchup for him against the Colts. They do not cover the tight end well. I think David Njoku could be a great start this week. Colts side, Kylen Granson had a big game last week. It was under the radar. That's definitely not going to happen against the Browns, but I feel like if you need like a dart throw, deep play, 16-man league, 14-man league, double flex, your QB's hurt, something like that, he can be a throw-in. I put Jelani Woods in red. This is back-to-back weeks. I've done that now because he's going to come off IR soon, and he's a monster that you need to be paying attention to at tight end. He's 6'7", 270. He's an absolute freak, red zone dominant player. I predicted him to get 10 touchdowns on the year as a crazy, bold prediction at the beginning of the year, and he got hurt, so that kind of sucks. But I am keeping an eye on him, waiting to see what happens with him. Another sitem coming of a big name here, the Sea of Red, Zach Ertz. So Seattle's defense, if you look at it, it's going to say green, right? You'll be like, oh, their defense, if you look at Yahoo or ESPN or Sleeper or whatever you use, Seattle's defense is third worst versus the pass, but they are not bad versus the tight end, guys. So Zach Ertz this week for me is going to be a sit. I do not like him in this game at all. Noah Fant, Will Disley. I mean, do we really need to talk about this? No. Always red for them. Steelers, Rams. They get Pat Freiermuth back. Another sea of red game for me here. I have both these guys on Sitem on Twitter. I mean, Pat Freiermuth coming off the injury. Yes, I do like Pat Freiermuth at tight end. I do not like him the first game back from injury. I mean, you have Deontay Johnson healthy, and you have George Pickens out there, and your running backs are good to go. Everyone's healthy for the first time for the Steelers, but I feel like Pat Freiermuth is not going to have his big day on his first game back. Tyler, he is a buy low candidate, though. Tyler Higbee. Just crazy stats, man. So listen to this. Tyler Higbee is the number 2 in snap share percentage. He never comes off the field at 93%. He is the 5th most routes ran at tight end at 170. He's targeted 18% on those 170 routes. But that is coming to an end with this Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, 65% target share combined together weekly. I mean, Tyler Higbee's out there, but he's just running wind sprints, man. He could get a touchdown, if you have injuries or you don't like your tight end. He's out there enough to be a volume play, but he's just not producing it. And they just gave him a massive contract too. It's very strange to me. I just dropped him in my league. I don't like Tyler Higbee this week at all. Logan Thomas and the Commanders division game versus the New York Giants. Look what the Giants just did to Dawson Knox last week at tight end. Giants are good at stopping the tight end. Logan Thomas is also coming off a bad week. I do not like Logan Thomas this week. He was on a crazy, incredible roller coaster ride. He's still, right now at the moment, is number 12 in routes ran at 150. He's still targeted 17%. He's still the 15th most used tight end at 71% snap share. But the production has just dropped so much that I'm not doing it. Heading to the Darren Waller side, I just gotta keep believing. You just gotta keep on believing if you have Waller, man. You just gotta keep believing that's gonna happen. I don't know if Danny Dimes is gonna play. This is a good matchup. The Washington secondary is beat up, but Darren Waller has had tons of good matchups and nothing happens. So you can't sell him. You can't drop him. You just got to ride. You just got to have the ups and down ride here. I mean, I hope it turns around in the second half of the season here. But Darren Waller, man, he's not even in any top 20 metric. So he's not even. Oh, yeah. What? I said that wrong. He actually is top 20 in routes ran at number 9. So he's ran 157 routes, but not at 26.1% target share. That's very high. That is number 3 at tight end. But he doesn't have the snap share up there. It's crazy to me. He's not in top 10 in points. I mean, Jonnu Smith has more points per game than Darren Waller. It just blows my mind. But I'm still going to put him green because I'm a Waller believer. Bills side. I don't know why they drafted Dawson Knox. I can't figure it out. They haven't used him at all. I know he's coming off concussion last week. Either way, I mean, this is going to be a blowout game for the Bills. You don't want to have any part of their tight ends that Josh Allen doesn't really target. They're both going to be red for me this week. Hunter Henry finally has a game here. He's had such a bad schedule for these past 2 weeks. I mean, he was the number 1 tight end for the first 3 weeks, and then he ran into a gauntlet, and they're starting to target him more. But he's still the number 10 used tight end to snap share at 80%. He's still the number 8 most routes ran in the NFL at tight end at 159, and he's number 8 at target per route run percentage at 17.6. All his metrics are great, and you know that he's going to be the focal point because their receivers are terrible. And, well, Ramondre gets a ton of receiving yard at the back. But I like Hunter Henry this week as a green stardom against the Bills. They'll be playing from behind. The passing volume will be there. Give me Hunter Henry as a stardom this week. The Durham Smythe jokes are over for me. I tried to take these dart shots on Durham Smythe and its Dolphins offense being so powerful, but it just didn't matter. I mean, through the first 3 weeks, Durham Smythe had 100% snap share. It was unbelievable. This guy was on the field nonstop, running routes through the roof. All of a sudden, now he's down to like 68% now in snap share. No, 68% in snap share, and he's ran 133 routes, number 19. He's dropped completely down with a 12% target share. Nothing good here. It's always Tyreek and Waddle. I mean, I don't even know if anybody else catches the ball out there. It's crazy. Now, Eagles side in this shootout Sunday night game. I have Dallas Goddard as my tight end 3 overall on the week. I feel like the smash Goddard game is coming, and especially now we don't know what's going on with Devonta Smith's hamstring with his injury today in practice. We don't have any news yet, or I haven't seen any news yet on it. I mean, even if Devonta's out there, I still love Dallas Goddard in this game so much. This is gonna be a high-scoring game. This is gonna be awesome to watch. For the first time, the Eagles are gonna have to open up the offense. They can't play their ground and pound, tush push nonsense offense. They're gonna have to throw the ball here, figure it out, let Jalen Hurts fly. I can't wait to see what happens in this game. Sam Laporta coming off a bad game. Don't let it get to your head. It's one game. He's a rookie. It's fine. He gets the Baltimore secondary that's beat up. Sam Laporta's numbers are insane. He's tied in 2 on the year. He's averaging 10.8 points per game as a rookie in your 9th round draft pick. I mean, you can't ask for any more volume than that. He's still the 9th most used tight end at 81%. And he has ran not even that many routes, guys. He's only ran 150 routes, but he's targeted on 30% or 28%. I rounded up 28% of the routes. When he's out there, he's getting the looks. He is used in the blocking, pass blocking, and run blocking game. He's a very good blocker. It is crazy. He's all around tight end. He may be the next Travis Kelce. You just don't know it yet. Heading to the Ravens side, Mark Andrews still doing Mark Andrews things. Still number 3 tight end on the year, averaging the 2nd most points ahead of Laporta, but doesn't have more points total. He's averaging 11.9. He's out there 82% of the time. Snap share, he's run 164 routes, and he's targeted at 21% of the routes, and he's missed a game. So those routes could even be higher if he didn't have the injury. Mark Andrews is always a start play for me. It doesn't matter who he's going up against. The tight end position is so tough. If you draft him, you're not sitting him. Jag side, Evan Ingram has been the surprise to me of the year. So he's still the only tight end on the year that's put up consistent points weekly. Like, it's crazy. You'll have like Cole Kmet, who had the 2 touchdown game, 25-point game. That made him a top 5 tight end. He's not a top 5 tight end, right? Evan Ingram has actually put up over 8 points every single game this year. So this guy's always must start. Doesn't matter what the matchup is. Trevor Lawrence has found a connection with him. He's always a start for me. As of right now, he is tight end 8. He actually exactly averages 8 points a game perfectly. Hit that on the dot. He is still snap shared out there at 12. He's number 12 in the NFL snap share, 76%. And his route running, I believe, is number 1 in the NFL. Yeah. So he is the number 1 route running tight end at 209 routes. So think about that for a second. TJ Hawkinson is number 2 at 189. So Ingram is around 20 more routes than TJ Hawkinson. That's how much he's out there. This is a buy now candidate if you can. I love Evan Ingram all the rest of the way. I didn't like him to start, but it's working out. Now, Jawan Johnson looks to be back. Taysom Hill did have a decent game last week. But, I mean, the rumors were true about Carr, man. If Carr doesn't have a superstar tight end, he really doesn't target him. I don't like any Saints this week, even on a short week versus the Jags. I mean, maybe one could punch a touchdown in them, but it's a risk I wouldn't want to take. I don't like them this week. Oh, the poor Broncos. Just bench every Bronco you have, man. That's my motto right now. We don't even know if Greg Dulcich is going to be healthy off the hamstring. Adam Troutman, even when he's out there, he could run 90% of the routes and not get a catch. It's all bad in Denver land. Everything's bad. All red, all the time. Now, Packers. If Luke Musgrave is on your wire, you better grab him now. Denver Broncos are number 1 worst versus the tight end. This could be an absolute smash game for Musgrave. We just hope the game doesn't get out of hand to where the Packers just pound the run the whole time. I mean, the Broncos get their garbage points to come back. That's how they played the whole season, is garbage behind. But I like Luke Musgrave a lot heading into this game. And interesting enough, Luke Musgrave is still in the top 17 in snap share percentage out there on the field. He's at 70%. So as a rookie. So him, like, think about it. Sam Laporta, Luke Musgrave are the only 2 rookies that are in the top 20, but they're must startable weekly tight ends, and they're rookies. And I would never have thought that last year. Like, tight end rookies usually take 2 to 3 years to get good. These guys are both balling. Give me Luke Musgrave in green this week. My favorite pickup of the week is here. Michael Mayer and the Bears. I'll get to Mayers in a second. Cole Kmet, no Justin Fields, but I still feel like DJ Moore is going to be the target. So I had DJ Moore on sitem. I feel like the Raiders are going to try and bracket him. Cole Kmet should be enough to beat his projection and have, 7 points or so. They're going to be playing from behind. We don't know who the quarterback's going to be yet. It's all bad in Bears land right now. But I still like Cole Kmet out there. So his usage is through the roof. Cole Kmet is 7th in usage at 83%. He is tied in 5 on the year, averaging 9.1. But like I said, he had that big blow up game that helped him. He has also been number 13 in routes ran at 133, and he's at a 24% target share when he runs them. All great numbers for Cole Kmet. Just needs a quarterback. But I still like him this week in a game where I feel like he'll see a lot of volume. Especially if it's, that rookie, then they look for their security blanket. So I like Cole Kmet this week. Now, the guy I've been waiting to talk about, Michael Mayer, Notre Dame rookie draft pick. So Michael Mayer, throughout the entire season, was 30 to 40% snap share. Week 6, he got the first catch of the game, broke all the DFS thing. First play of the game, he had like a 7-yard DFS, and he got like a 20-yard catch right away. Now, last week, for the first time, played 52 of the 70 snaps at 72%, busted 10 points, and it doesn't matter who his quarterback is. I mean, he was the best pro-ready tight end coming out. That's what scouts and stuff say. I guess Sam Laporte has had an amazing season, so you could argue that if you wanted to. But Michael Mayer was just as good at Notre Dame. Like, he was crazy good. Even Dalton Kincaid was good at Utah. It's just not working out in Buffalo right now. But if you didn't pick this guy up, the Raiders' schedule is absolutely phenomenal. It is all green all the way, and a young stud like this is always going to be playing. He's always going to be out there. The volume is now going to pick up through the roof. And if you have Aiden O'Connell out there, you have Hoyer. Hoyer looked at him more. So it's going to be a great, great, great play the rest of the way. I love Michael Mayer at tight end this week. Last but not least, he's getting it done, folks. Kyle Pitts. The Falcons are playing the Bucks. I'll get to Kyle Pitts in a second, though. Cade Otton. I've taken a couple dart shots at this guy, and it's just not working out. He has this game 9 points, 1 point, 7 points, 1 point, 0 point, 1 point. He's so inconsistent. But the crazy part is Cade Otton is the number 1 used tight end. He never comes off the field. 97% snaps. Tyler Higbee's number 2 at 93. There's no one else playing tight end at all at Tampa. But he's just not getting production at all. I don't understand. It's crazy to me. He's definitely not startable, but it's something that if you needed a dart throw, is why I put it in yellow, that you could throw him out there because he's on the field all the time. So it's a tough matchup. Atlanta's pass D is very good, but I mean, if you needed a dart throw, that's all it is for Cade Otton. Kyle Pitts now. Get your popcorn ready. And by the way, Jonnu Smith, people don't really know who that is sometimes. Jonnu Smith is the tight end number 9 overall on the season. So he is my top 10 sitem this week. Now, heading to Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts, right now, folks, is running routes at number 3 in the NFL at 184 routes at 21% target share. And over the past 2 weeks, has had 2 10-plus games and 2 touchdowns. And Desmond Ridder has thrown for 300 yards in back-to-back games. If you don't like any of that, you're crazy. Kyle Pitts is actually waking up a little bit. I hope the consistency keeps up because he's so talented. It's crazy. Like, he's a must start now every time because this position is so hard either way. But give me Kyle Pitts as a startem the rest of the way at this point. I mean, you can ride him all the way now, I feel like. But it's still going to be a bumpy ride, but I like Kyle Pitts in green this week. That is it for my startem sitem videos, guys. That's the end of the tight ends. If you want to check out my wide receiver and running back, I did those before. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or anything, drop them down below. I'll try to answer whatever it is. Fantasy football trades, anything you got, fantasy football, fire at me. And as always, if you like the content, scroll down below, like and subscribe, help your boy out. It helps me a ton. I will be doing next week or tomorrow? Buy low, sell high candidates tomorrow. And then I will get into a couple of YouTube shorts of, prediction players I like, bowl prediction, stuff like that. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. I'm out for the night. Peace.